Hi there, I'm Mama Mita. Welcome to my video today on how to make tostones. Okay, let's get started. Now, I'm using today Tostones Verde, which is the green plantains. Now, these plantains, they are very popular in the Caribbean. Now, if you go back to a little bit of the history of the plantains for the Caribbean, they came to the Caribbean with the Dominican monks back in the 19th century. Now, they're very popular and they're very easy to do, so it's just a matter of, peeling them and seasoning them and frying them up. So we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to wash your banana off, and clean it up. Take off your sticker or your tag, and then dry it off, and boy, that's kind of a tough sticker there. Anyway, so I like to cut the ends off. Okay. Now, these bananas or these plantains, they as they get older, they change in color. So they'll go to a really dark green to where they can become black. The dark green is more the potato flavor, and when they get down to where they get to be yellow, like these other regular bananas, they get sweeter, and as they get darker, they get even sweeter. So depending on what recipe you're going to use with the tostones, and like if you're going to boil them, then you would do more with the green, okay? But then when you get to the yellow color, that's more for like baking and frying them, but they're going to be like very, very sweet. So anyway, then you take and you're going to take your knife and you're going to score it down where it goes through the peel, okay? It goes through that part. And you do that in several places, because this is a tough skin and it can be kind of hard to get off. Some people, they like to do it this way. Some like to cut it and then peel it. I don't mind this way. This way's fine. I don't really care. And then to make it easier for us gringos, they take the end of the spoon and dig in there. Because you have to sometimes, pry this off. It can be kind of tough to get it off. Okay. Then the rest of the way, I can pretty much get it off like that. Usually. Well, we might have to use that spoon again. But the spoon comes in handy. It's a handy little trick to do that. And you might want to wear gloves, because sometimes the banana can stain your hands. Yeah, I'm okay with my hands being stained. So now when we get that off, then you want to take your knife and make sure that you haven't left anything of that peel on there, because you don't want that. Okay, so you go around, just check to make sure that that's off. Sometimes you might have to trim it a little bit to get that off, because it might be really hard. There you go. So then the next thing you want to do is you want to take your banana, lay it down on your cutting board, and you want to cut these about an inch. Now you can cut them like circles like that. Some people, like a slight way like that. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever really you like. But about an inch. If they're not perfect, it's okay. You're going to eat them anyway. I like to just make mine like that. To me, that's just fine. Whoops, see this little part there. You don't want that on there. Okay, then That's your last part. Okay. Now you want to take some water. Let me put my faucet back over here. You want to put some water in your little bowl. And you're going to add some salt. Then you take your bananas. And you put them in there. Okay, now at that point, you want to let your bananas sit in the salty water to make them ready for the actual frying. I would say 15 minutes you leave them in the salty water. So we'll come back to that. Okay, now I'm gonna, while I'm still waiting for the plantanos to still sit in the salty water, I'm going to go ahead and make the salsa de mojo, which is the garlic. This is the usual one. There's two different, there's quite a few, you know, like in all the Latino countries or the Caribbean area, they make different salsas to go with that. Like in some places, they use just the plain mixture of mayonnaise and ketchup. And what I did on that one, I went ahead and made that with just a little bit, like a tablespoon of ketchup and a tablespoon of mayo, and mix it together. And they like to dip the tostones in that. Now I'm gonna just use the garlic in this one, and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And it's like a dipping sauce. Then usually they put a little bit of vinegar, but in this case, since we're going to be moving the RV next week down to Camping World, after 2.5 months waiting for a hot water heater part to come in, we're going to finally, I guess, get that repaired. So I got to be careful how much stuff I bring into the RV, because we're going to be hauling down the highway. Anyway, but some people like to put just plain white vinegar in that, a little bit, okay? But today I didn't want to open up another gallon of vinegar that's sitting in the cabinet there. So I'm going to use a little bit of this jalapeno juice off of the, because it's got vinegar in it and it's fine. My husband loves jalapenos. So I'm going to put just a teeny bit of that and mix that. And that's going to be the dipping sauce that I'm going to use for Tostones for him, because he likes probably the other way. I don't think he's maybe tried the ketchup with the mayo one. Most of the restaurants that I ever went to in Puerto Rico had just the one that was just the olive oil garlic with a little bit of vinegar in it. So that's done. So we've got our dipping sauce. Another way you could do is you could take that same the same one with the olive oil and garlic and the vinegar, and mash an avocado in there. Some people like avocado as a dip too, or avocado with sour cream. You know, it's like whatever you actually prefer. Okay, so I think now my my plantains have been waiting long enough, so I'm going to drain them. Okay, and we're going to put this fire over here on. So I'm using for the frying, I'm using vegetable cooking oil. I don't want to really use my olive oil. I mean, you could use it, but olive oil is very expensive. The really good one is. So I'll put that back and put my jalapenos back, because I don't think we need that unless he comes home and wants to have jalapenos with his tostones. And the thing about tostones is you want to make sure that once you fry them the second time, because they have to be fried 2 times. Once you fry them, and they're ready, you want to eat them then. And they don't really taste good when they are cold and you have to reheat them. I don't go for that one at all. So that's heating up. So I'm gonna take a paper towel and dry those off and get those ready to be fried up. Just kind of take off the water off of them now. And your water is, or your oil is ready when at that point you could like, when it's ready is when you can, it's not ready yet. It should be hot enough that when you drop that little drop of water that it should sizzle pretty good, and it's not yet ready. But it's getting there. Now, put this back too. So, some people like to, when they when they get these fried up the first time, you fry them up the first time about maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, when they start to look golden. Then you take them out. Now you want to make sure that you only make these bananas like, you know, an inch. You don't want them too thick. If they get too thick, then you're not gonna cook them. They're not gonna cook right. They're gonna be kind of undone, and they're just not gonna come out right. So then what I like to do is I like to take a paper sack. Another thing you could do with a paper sack is that you can open up a paper sack and put it in front of your stove area, so when you're frying, what grease pops off, it'll pop down onto the paper sack and it'll pick it up with the paper sack. Then I bring them out. Some people like to use paper plate. Use a plate to smash them, because you have to smash them before you put them back the second time. I usually just use whatever I've got. You know, I don't go out and get something special. Okay, so now I think we're getting ready to now. Let's see. Yes. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna put them in. Oh yeah, that's flashy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And this is kind of a fast process, because like you have to really move on to these bananas, like watch them carefully. Okay. I'll leave those there. Okay, so those are frying along. They sure are good though when you fry them. This is like one of the main things that they use in Puerto Rico is the bananas, the big plantain bananas. Like, yeah, very popular. And they make another dish that they take the big bananas, the big green bananas, and they put them with the Yukons and sweet potatoes and the pumpkin, and they cook it in a pot with salty water. Then they bring it out. You have to cook them though 20 minutes in salty water, boiling them. but they bring them out and they have a fish, a fried fish. They usually fry their fish and eat that together. And that's a real nice dish too. Okay, so now these are starting to get kind of like golden. Not yet. You want them to be like a little golden. A Fry Daddy works really good with these too. We did a Fry Daddy a while back. My daughter had a party, and so we had to do the bananas, and the Fry Daddy works really well. But you know, I mean, like, I just can't have all those things in the RV because I'm really limited on space. So a little frying pan works just great. Okay, let me pull one out. Okay, so it's starting to look pretty good there. Okay. They sell those cute little plantains masher that, you know, like it looks like a little piece of wood, and then I had one of those, but it broke. It just it gave out. we used it too much. So now I kind of came up with my own method of smashing it. So, you know, when you first put those in here, I would say probably like maybe 6 to 8 minutes altogether, you know, because there's quite a few in here. Okay, now I'm going to flip them. Okay, we'll let those cook a little bit longer now. And then we're going to pull them out and we'll get ready to smash them. Okay. Another thing that works pretty good if you was going to be using a lot of these and you was frying quite a bit is those little spiders that they have that you can lift things out and it scoops up quite a few at one time. I like the spider. Okay. All right. So we'll put these last two in there and let them fry up to keep that pan busy. Now, at that point, you're going to take it and you're going to put your banana, fried banana, like that. Okay. Then I fold the paper over it. I take my can and I mash it down. Well, that should be more. Oh, the problem is that it's not my usual can that I use, so we're gonna have to use this. Okay, so you see how flat that came out like that? It came out flat. Then we're going to keep doing those till we do all of these the same way. There's another one. And if you see your paper is getting too greasy, then you can just switch it out to a new paper. I like to use the paper bag, but some people will use the wax paper. pour it one more time. Okay. So that was away. Get another paper. Now my grease is getting a little too hot, so I'm going to turn that down, okay? That's the thing, you almost need 2 people to keep up with this sometime if you're doing a lot of these. Okay. So you want to smash it to it's flat, almost looks like a sand dollar. This is probably a little too dark. That's okay. Okay, so now at that point, you want to take your little smashed plantains and you want to put them back in the grease. Now you want to watch them. You don't want them to go very long now. Then I'll bring my... What's that? Now at this point, you don't want these too long, okay? So those should be fine like that. That's why it's best if you probably like, if you can't keep up with it, is like move the thing to the side, the skillet to the side, smash all of your bananas and then put it back on and then go for it. That's a good idea to do too. I'm usually a lot faster, but with the arm and everything, I have to like really kind of move slow. Okay. That's so now I'm going to turn this off because I think it's hot enough now at that point, because the other bananas I'm going to use them for a different recipe. Okay. We lost the banana there. Alright, so you don't want them that color. That was a little overdone on my part. But anyway, so that's finished. And there we have it. So let's see how those taste. And sometimes what they do is they sprinkle a little salt on top of them, but if you're watching your salt, then maybe you don't want to do that, because your salt should be plenty enough to be without the salt. So let's try and see how those taste. So this is the one with the mayo and the ketchup. Oh yeah, those are very good. Okay. I'm not gonna put any salt on mine because I have enough salt already for me. Okay, so this one now, this is the one that I did with the olive oil, the garlic, and that little bit of jalapeno vinegar. A new recipe, huh? Okay. Oh yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. That's really good. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, there you have it, Tostones. Now you know how to make Tostones, so you know what? You can invite your friends over and impress them by making Tostones in front of them. You can even get them involved in making it, and you know they go home and they know how to make it for their family or their friends. So this is your Tostones. Remember, don't eat green bananas, okay? Because you don't want to get a stomach ache, and you might want to sprinkle a little salt in it. You know, they probably would be even better with a little bit of salt. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed my video today on how to make Tostones. Now, if you like this and you came out okay with your making your Tostones, please give me a thumbs up on my video. Thank you very much. Bye now.